Okay, so we are going to write a SAQ now, and this is the first SAQ we are writing. So our main focus is going to be how to write the SAQ, not what to write. Okay, that anyways, because we have understood the topic, we are able to write on our own. The content is not an issue, the structure is an issue. So that is what we are going to focus on. Now questions can be worded in different ways, but the SAQ has to be the same. So let me give you a sample question. Everybody take down this question. I'm sorry. Okay. This question had come in the May 22 paper and the November 2019 paper. Okay, and the wording of the question was the same in both papers. So let's take it down. Describe neuroplasticity with reference to one relevant study. Okay, so just take down the question. And just a minute. It is not that this question cannot be worded differently. Different wording can be used. For example, they could say something like describe one study on neuroplasticity. Doesn't matter. When it comes to SAQs especially, the wording of the question does not matter, though there's a lot of discussion on command terms, but practically speaking, we have to write the same answer. Okay, so no matter which SAQ comes with reference to neuroplasticity, this is what we are going to be writing. Let's read the question once. Describe neuroplasticity, okay? So what is a wrong approach to begin with? Some students will just start off by directly beginning with the study. We are taking Maguire, right? Your schools are doing Maguire, right? Okay. Sorry, what are you saying, Khyati? No, I myself, I prefer Dragonski, but let's just go with what the school is doing, because otherwise what happens is the school is asking you to do something, and for the board you're preparing another answer. So you can write any answer, but I'm just looking at the practical aspect. What happens is the teachers get offended. I taught Maguire in school, why are you writing Dragons? So just to avoid that confusion. But if you really want, I don't mind. In the next class, we can write an answer using the Dragansky study also. But right now, let's go with Maguire for now, okay? Okay. What I was saying was that don't jump into the study. The question is about neuroplasticity. It is not about Maguire study. Maguire study is going to be your reference to explain the concept of neuroplasticity. It is not the whole and soul of your answer. Who has raised the hand? Yes, Vidhi. Everything I'll explain. Just have little patience, word limit, how much it should be, everything. One more thing is, I don't want you to get obsessed about the word limit. That they will say, write 1 page, 1.5 page, but actually, you have to head for a word limit. No, so tell me, if you are going by 1 page, 1.5 page, what is the logic? Exactly, if my handwriting is bigger than yours. Yeah. Don't go by pages. Go by word limit. And I want to tell you one thing. Okay, now that we've come to the topic, I'll just address it, then we'll move ahead. Yeah, everybody just listen carefully, okay? When it comes to word limit, don't obsess over, I have to meet this word limit. Like, don't write an answer from the point of view of trying to meet word limit. That is not your frame of mind while writing. Your main concern is not I have to meet a word limit. Anyways, the way I'm going to structure, in the end when we write the answer, you will find that it has met the word limit. No, it won't be more also. The structure is only going to be such. So just everyone have patience and just cooperate with me. I know your schools have told you a lot of things about how to write answers. We are going to cover everything, don't worry. Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so now please 2 minutes silence. Yeah, okay, I'll just, let me focus on what I'm saying. What I'm saying is neuroplasticity is our main focus. Our concern is as if we are explaining to the examiner what neuroplasticity is, the study. We are using just as an illustration. So be it Maguire, Dragansky, any study we are taking up, it is just to illustrate, just to explain better the concept of neuroplasticity. That is not our main focus. Now, how I am going to write the short answers with you all is, we are going to really break down the answer. Like I said, we are going to see the structure of the answer. So what we do is we take up short questions. We keep asking ourselves short questions throughout as we are writing the answer. Okay, and we'll see it becomes so easy to write the answer by this method. Okay, let's put it through practice. You'll understand what I'm saying. Okay, so right now, forget about, the whole answer we have to write this much, that much. Just keep that aside from your mind and just focus on one thing at a time. So first, I want you to focus on the question. What is the definition? You don't need to write this, okay? What is the definition of neuroplasticity? This is what you have to think. This is not what you have to write. You have to think this in your mind. So when you're starting with an SAQ, first you think in your mind this question. Answer this question in 1 or 2 sentences. Don't worry about the whole essay. Take it in small bits. Okay, so first try to answer this question. Okay, whatever answer you write to this question, those will become your first 1 or 2 sentences for the answer. And you will see like this, the answer will keep on building up. Okay. Okay, why have you raised your hand, Vidhi? To give the answer. Just wait. Okay. Before we write the answer, anyone here who does not know the definition of neuroplasticity? That's okay. You don't know exactly, that's fine. But have you all understood what it is? You'll be able to write. I had said you have to memorize, and I'm still saying that you have to memorize and write. But suppose you just had to write just now. And I know right now you all have not memorized. No one. Anyone has memorized? Okay. So would you be able to say in your own words? That is important. Like, have you understood the concept? That is important. Okay, who's going to give me the proper definition? Okay, Khyati, you tell me. No. See. No, wait. Everybody just quiet. Now I'm going to explain something very important right now. If you are going to say something like what Khyati just said, neuroplasticity is the plasticity of neurons. What is this called? Have I discussed with you all before? No, just wait. Let me explain. I know you have understood your mistake, but just let me explain. This is important for all of you all to understand. That's why, see, any point that I'm explaining, it's not to criticize anybody. It's just that some common mistakes come up. So I just want everyone to understand. See, this is the first time we are writing answers. So it's very good. If the common mistakes come up, then we won't do it in the paper. It's okay. See, if I say neuroplasticity is the plasticity of neurons, what is this called? Do you all know this type of a definition? What is it called? It is called a circular definition. It keeps bringing you back to the same point. Okay. So supposing someone asks me what is the definition of human relationships. Okay. For example, like I was just doing this topic with year 2, so I remember this. Human relationships are the relationships of humans. What is this? This is circular definition. Never ever write a circular definition, okay? No, not allowed. See, because you are not defining the concept. Defining means what? Explaining the meaning of the concept. Is the person understanding by reading this? Neuroplasticity is plasticity. What is plasticity but? That question remains. You're keeping on coming back to plasticity. What is plasticity? That question still remains in my mind even after I read the definition. Okay, so who's going to give a proper definition now? Yeah, you can refer to the book. I know you all have not memorized. You want to try in your own words? Okay, try in your own words. No, don't use plasticity word. Use some other word. Huh. It's okay. It's a good definition. Yeah, but still if you can give me from the textbook, it's better. It's good. No, but don't try. No, see, I will still insist, though it is good, you have covered the main aspects. Like you have spoken about networks, neurons, you've spoken about structure, functioning, everything. But still I will insist that at least the definition should come. Of course, the rest of the answer I'm not expecting you to memorize at all. But like I have said in the class, I'm just repeating because now we are writing the answer. So definition, facts, figures, they should come from memory. Yeah, so just learn these things. But your definition is very good. Just little bit, you already have a very good definition. Then how much time does it take to memorize? Okay, anyone has any doubts about this definition? Any questions? Because I want to write it. Let's start writing. Okay, let's write them. Okay, I have erased the question. What was our question which we are asking ourselves in the mind? What is the definition? And that answer only we are writing down. Okay. So imagine now you're writing this in the paper. Now in the paper, what question you had asked in your mind, that you are not going to write down. You're going to write the answer. So directly just write the definition. Okay, so I'm taking this definition which I had explained earlier. Neuroplasticity is the ability of, please turn off your mics everyone, of neurons and neural networks to change their structure, function and connections. Anyone needs an explanation of this definition? Like though we have done it earlier, but still if you need it, tell me right now. Don't write without understanding anything. So I assume you all are clear on it. Okay. So what we have done here is, we have non-circularly explained the definition. Okay. We have explained it in terms of plasticity. We have elaborated what we mean by it. So we mean it's the ability to change. So instead of the term plasticity, Kathy, instead of the term plasticity, what we've used, ability to change. Okay. And the rest of it we know. As you're writing, you can annotate your answers also. That's good. Like I've highlighted ability to change because that's the key thing we need to keep in mind. So even as you're writing your answer, Of course, in the exam, you're not allowed to use highlighters and stuff. At the most, you can underline some things. But in your notebook, it's good to highlight certain things. Okay. So I've highlighted ability to change. And what you can do is, again, in terms of annotating, like I told you, the questions which we're asking in our mind, we're not writing. So just one word we can write here, like definition. Again, not to be written in the paper. But we know how we have structure done. So the structure I'm going on writing in red. Okay. Anyone has any questions still here? Okay. So our first one or two sentences for any answer are the definition of the concept. This is not true only for this particular SAQ that we are writing. Any SAQ. Paper 1, paper 2 does not have an SAQ. No, but in paper 1, any SAQ, BLOA, CLOA or SCLOA, it is going to start like this. Is this clear to everyone? Okay. Next, what we do is, after we write the definition of any concept, we still stick with the concept only. We don't move on to the study so fast. So the next question that I'm going to ask in my mind is, what is the importance or relevance of this concept? Okay. So concept is neuroplasticity. I have explained what it is, the definition again. Now next thing is, what is the relevance of this concept? Why is it important? Yes, Aditi, you want to ask something? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. See, if your teachers, like Aditi is saying, if your teacher has said that first write the importance, then write the definition, sequence doesn't matter. You're covering all the points, no? And it's a logical sequence. It's not like first you're writing the study, at the end you're writing. No, there's no hard and fast rule like that. If you want, you can write the importance or relevance first, and then you can come to the definition. That is absolutely fine. Okay. So who wants to answer? What is the importance or relevance? Yeah, in your own words. This you don't need to write. By, like I said, definition, facts and figures. Memorize and write. Rest say in your own words. There's no issue. Okay, who should I give a chance to answer? Who has not spoken today? Okay. I think Mitali can answer. First point is good. Yeah, this point is also good. No, right now we are not connecting with the study. So right now we are not talking about relevance in terms of Maguire's. No, general. No, that's a good point you've raised. See, when everybody just listen, when it comes to importance or relevance, we are not saying in Maguire's study what is the relevance. No. Generally, why is neuroplasticity important? Why is it an important concept to be studied? Why does it matter in human life or human behavior? Think in those. Yeah, like we had discussed. Okay, so one point which I'm getting from Mitali is that whenever we learn something, we are learning some new skill, especially neuroplasticity is helping us to learn that. So that is why it is important, which is very right. The second point you have spoken about illness, which is also right. But can someone phrase it a little more elaborately for me? How neuroplasticity helps in illnesses? That I'm asking. Illnesses or injuries? Yes, Viti. That point is covered. That she has said properly. Yeah. When it comes to injury, this is right. We'll just put it a little more formally when we are writing, but the point is that when we are injured or when we are ill, what helps us to recover from that injury or illness is neuroplasticity. We can give examples. Yeah, see, you can give an example. Yeah. So So you can say if someone used to write from their right hand, that's the example we had discussed. They used to write from their right hand, but they were injured during some injury happened. So now they still have to give the exam. So now they've started writing from their left hand. So the brain has also rewired itself in such a way that it's able to use the left hand for writing. Only what happens is, no doubt you can write the example, but just keep in mind this is an SAQ. Don't become too elaborate with your answers. Okay, so you can write it, but then what I'll suggest is, see, either our approach can be, listen everybody, listen. Either our approach can be, when we are writing the importance, we give 2 or 3 lines of importance. Like Mitali's approach was to give 2 lines of importance, which even I agree with, but everyone's writing style is different and there's no hard and fast rule. So if you don't want to give 2 different points relating to the importance, you can give 1 point of importance and just elaborate on that point with an example instead of giving 2 points. That's also fine. So for now, I'm going to write 2 points of importance. But if you want, you can write 1 point of importance and give an example to illustrate that. Both the approaches are fine. What the examiner is looking out for is, have you understood the concept that is of his interest? Okay? Yes, yes. No hard and fast rule. 2 or 3 sentences, I would say, maximum. Don't go beyond that. See, like I said, for the definition, ideally 1 sentence is enough. What more is there to write? Then this becomes unnecessary. So definition, aim for 1 or 2 sentences. Importance of the concept, 2 or 3 sentences. I don't think you need more than that. And if you're feeling like writing more than that, just hold yourself and tell yourself, this is an SAQ. This is not how much I have to write. Okay? Yes, Aditi. No. I will cover everything. Okay, when it comes to how many paragraphs you should write, also there's a logic behind it. See, one thing is, there is no hard and fast rule. So you want to write continuously or you want to break in paragraphs, that is on you. I prefer breaking into paragraphs because it is helpful for the examiner also. Think about the person who's reading the answer. If you have to read something and it is continuous, there's no formatting to it. How difficult it is to read. So even I would suggest that, break down to paragraphs. But what happened was, once I remember one of the schools, I don't want to name it, I used to tell the student to write in paragraphs. That teacher told her, school teacher, that, no, in our school we don't write like this. So then, the same thing comes at, in the board, can I write like this in school? So I feel just follow one approach. You will get confused. If your school is telling you to follow some particular way, you follow. This whatever I'm giving you, this is according to me how you should write. And I'm making sure all the important content is covered. But of course, some adjustments are going to be there according to everybody's writing style. So that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about such things. They are minor things. What is important is to cover the content. Okay, so now quickly let's continue. Okay, what we are doing in the next 2 sentences, continuing in this paragraph fully, we are writing the importance of neuroplasticity, which we just discussed. You're free to write how you want. What I'm writing is a sample or a model answer from my side. Okay, so what we can write is, since neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change, it allows us to learn, grow, and adapt. What have I done here? That first point, whenever we learn some new skill, there are concrete changes in the brain and all. This is how I have put it in the answer. You can put it in your own words, no issue. Like I said, we should keep on annotating when we are writing. So when we are revising, we just get the key points. Like whatever I'm highlighting in yellow, it just pops up in front of me. So for revision, it becomes very good. Because in the last minute, we're not going to have time to read the whole answer. Okay. So the key point we're talking about here is learning, growing, and developing. So that I have highlighted. Okay, and next I will continue. it helps us about injury that I'm going to write. So it helps us to recover from injury or illness thereby improving our mental health. Okay, here what I will highlight, recover from injury or illness. Like I said, for revision becomes good. Okay, so now what I'll do is, like I was saying in red, what I'm annotating is the structure point. So the first point was the definition of the concept. This was the relevance or importance of the concept. So let me write this also. Till here, anyone has any questions? Anyone needs an explanation of these things, or you'll remember? Okay. See, here what happens is, at this point, we have discussed in general what is neuroplasticity. Now we are going to slowly bring in the study. We have to start connecting all of this to the study. So what we have to do is, we don't have to do it, we should, I feel, ideally change the paragraph here. Take a new paragraph here, because it really separates that part in which we are generally explaining the concept to where we are leading into the study. So there's a reason why we are splitting the paragraphs over here. So ideally, I feel we should do that, but you all could have some better technique of formatting. You all can use that. Yes, Aditi. Yeah, you can do. See, like I'm saying, you can do it. Your teacher is saying that do 2 paragraphs, right? Do 2 paragraphs. Yeah. Yeah, this also I have seen in many schools. What they do is 1 paragraph is the concept, 2nd paragraph is the study. Mine is also more or less the same only. I might be using a little more paragraphs. I'll keep explaining where and why I'm splitting 2 paragraphs. Yes, Mitali. Okay, thank you. I'm happy you all are liking the format. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, now next what we want to do is, we want to ask ourselves the next question. What we want to ask ourselves is, what we want to ask, 1 minute, let me phrase in my mind. Yeah, what we want to ask ourselves is, see, as such, when we are writing the answer, we've already decided we are taking up one particular study. So we've decided we are taking up Maguire, because that is what our schools are telling us. Now, see, what happens is, I'll just explain something, then I'll tell you why we are asking this particular question. Neuroplasticity, like we've seen in the textbook also, is related to a lot of things, right? It's a singular concept, but we've seen so many different studies that are looking. So we've seen Dragansky, Maguire, and we had, I can't remember offhand, we have seen other studies also, okay? So now these studies are not looking into the same aspects of neuroplasticity. Different studies are looking at different aspects of neuroplasticity, or we can say different studies are looking into different areas of knowledge related to neuroplasticity. So broadly, they all are looking at neuroplasticity, but not at the same facet of it, right? So if I just give a description of neuroplasticity and then I come down to, okay, this study was done on neuroplasticity, but in which specific area of neuroplasticity or which aspect of neuroplasticity? First, I should introduce that, right? So first, I should say that this is the area which is important to neuroplasticity, and then I should come to, this is the study done in this area. So in a way, what you all can think is, we've explained the broader concept, we are making it narrow by linking to a study, and then we are making it even narrower by going to the specific studies. We'll be highlighting those details. So what we have to ask ourselves at this point is, now whatever language you all are comfortable with, you can think of which aspect, which facet, or what I would call it is, which area of knowledge in neuroplasticity, means in this concept, are we going to look into. Means next we are identifying one specific area in the concept in neuroplasticity that we want to discuss in this SAQ. We don't want to discuss all areas. One SAQ is not meant to discuss everything about neuroplasticity, right? Okay, so we know we are going to take the McGuire study, that we have decided. So here, in a way, you can ask yourself which is the area of knowledge that was looked into in the McGuire study. So who's going to tell me now? In the McGuire study, which facet of neuroplasticity was looked? Raise your hand, please. See, raise your hand. Everyone starts talking together, it becomes difficult. So just raise your hand. I'll give everyone a chance. Yes, Kathy. No, I wanted to be more specific. Who can tell me more specifically? So no doubt, see, they were driving on the streets and all, but we cannot say that driving on the streets is the area related to neuroplasticity. No. Still, it is long. It is elaborate. Think. Just think for a minute and answer. Yes, Viti. Right. Natural settings is good. Neuroplasticity, natural settings. What you were going to say, Mitali? Real settings. Natural settings, real settings. Yes. Yes, Kathy. Yeah, but see, saying natural settings or real settings is better. Then, of course, we are going to explain. See, what you're saying about driving and taxis and all. Anyways, we are going to come to all. You don't need to put everything into the first line itself. When you're linking it in that link, you don't need to put everything. Everything is going to come, no doubt. So link should be just very briefly leading into the study. Everything we'll put in the link and what we'll write later. Okay? See, in a way, it's like a connecting sentence, okay? Just listen, everyone. It's a connecting, just what we have written till now. And now we're going to introduce McGuire study. We don't want to introduce it abruptly. We want a connecting sentence. Okay, this is what we've said. Now, following this, going ahead from here, this is how this study links to this topic. This is how this study is going to be relevant to our discussion. Yeah, so just keep it to that. Now, everybody turn off your mic. Okay, so whatever you all have told me now, again, I'm going to put it in the answer in a formal way. Okay? Yeah, natural real settings we are going to talk about. Just turn off your mic, everybody. I'm taking a new paragraph. The brain has the ability to change and adapt to experience even in natural settings. Such as by learning new skills or performing new activities. Okay, 1 minute. I can see 2 hands are raised, but just wait. Let me just explain this sentence, then I'll take up your questions. Okay, what we are saying in this sentence is that we are going to talk about neuroplasticity in the specific area, like I said, relevant area of natural settings. So we are linking, this is how we are going to bring up McGuire study, that okay, in this study we saw that taxi drivers, in the natural settings, their brains demonstrated plasticity. So that is how we have linked. What I want you all to take note of over here is that we are saying learning new skills or performing new activities. I am not specifically right now mentioning driving, taxi driving. I'm not mentioning those things. So still I'm being general. In this whole point, just be general, because everything specific about the study we are going to come to anyway. So we don't need to elaborate everything here only. Okay, let it be a transition. Let it be a transition from general to specific. Just don't throw what is specific immediately after giving a general introduction. As we keep doing more such answers, you all will see. You all will get more examples to see how we write these points. Yes, Adit. See, that only I'm saying, you don't stress about where the sentence should come in which paragraph and all. It's okay. How you feel the organization, the formatting, arrangement can be anything, okay? Ideally, like I told you, what is my reason for splitting the paragraph here? But if you want to add this to the first paragraph and Maguire, you want to start next, that is up to you. Yeah. Yes, Kathy. Right. Yeah, that is only what I was. Yeah, it would have looked weird. We will not discuss the study. So from where taxi, that is a good point. Where taxi driving is coming, how did taxi driving come suddenly? Because see, from a, 1 minute, again, just everybody off your mind. See, from a reader's point of view, think from the examiner's point of view is reading. Like I always tell you, think like the person in front of you doesn't know anything when you're explaining something. So same way for the examiner, think that he doesn't know anything. He's an expert, of course, but when you're writing, you think he doesn't know anything. So when the examiner is reading, he's reading on neuroplasticity and suddenly somebody's talking about taxi driving. It's like from where taxi driving came in between. So that's a very good point, Kathy. So that should build up slowly. That should not come up abruptly like a person gets confused. What is he reading? So first we are talking in general terms. Yes, sir, Vidhi. Yeah, I'm writing. Don't worry. Anyone else wants to ask? Okay. Note with these pointers, what is this? This is the link to the study. Or you can say relevant area of knowledge. See, whatever we annotate also, it is for your benefit. Like I said, for revision, it will help you, whatever we are highlighting. And whatever we are writing like this in red, whatever we are annotating, that is for you to understand the structure. So whatever helps you, whatever you feel these words will help me remember that this is how I should structure, write it in those words. You don't have to copy my words. What is the aim? You should be able to get the structure. So write in a way that you're getting the structure. Yes, Aditi. Yeah, you can underline some things. In fact, I encourage that also. Becomes like it's easy. That is good. You're thinking that way. That is good. You're thinking how it become easier for the examiner to read. See, one thing is when we are writing in paragraphs, we are making it easier to read. Second, like Aditi is also saying, we can just underline certain things. So even for the examiner, how we have to underline. When we're underlining, we keep in mind, okay, if I underline these things, the examiner will know these points have been covered. So again, the main things we have to underline. It will always almost match what we are highlighting in yellow for ourselves. Still, what I'll do is with blue ink only, I'll just underline what we can underline or highlight for the examiner. So you will get an idea. But one thing, I'm doing this, but don't try to memorize, please. Where to underline, you are memorizing the whole answer, and this is where I've to underline. Don't get obsessed with those things, because the more you try to remember these things and waste your time and effort, you will not be able to learn all the answers, okay? For everything, understand how we are doing, how we are deciding what to underline, rather than trying to memorize here I have to underline and there I have to underline, okay? So please take a good approach. See, so here what I will highlight first is, like I said, ability of neurons to change. So I'm just underlining ability to change. One more thing is, don't underline too much, okay? Because then if you underline the whole answer, the purpose of underlining is defeated. So just underline the main things. So what I'm thinking is, okay, from the examiner's point of view, in the definition, what is the main thing that should strike out? Just pop up. So that I have underlined. In the same way, in the importance, what do I need to bring to the examiner's notice? So that I can underline. Like I said, it's almost paralleling what we have highlighted in yellow. In the Lincoln, what is the most important thing? Natural settings. Yes, Mitali. Just underline. Just underline. Don't take note. You are not supposed to highlight. No. Don't do fancy. That all is very time. If you have very less time as it is in the paper. So now you're going to do some curvy underlining and some black and blue underline. Don't do all that. Examiner will, they feel these are gimmicks then. If nothing else, they will feel it is gimmicks, and they will feel you don't really have an ability as a student to answer. You don't know your content, so you are trying to decorate the answer. That is what they. So don't do it. Do it with the genuine intention of making it easier to read. Otherwise, don't do it. That's what I'll say. It's not compulsory. Okay, we've linked to the study. So now what will naturally come next? Even the structure you don't have to memorize. It's flowing. The structure is just flowing. You know, once one or two answers I'm telling you, you write in SAQs and you will not need to look at the structure again. It will naturally come to you. Now we've linked into the study. What should we do next? We should start writing about the study. Okay, so next now what I need to ask myself is, which study demonstrates, or we can say illustrates, shows this relevant area of knowledge. Okay, yes, Vidhi. Yeah. The which, see the command term only, which means what we are just going to name. At this point, no, we are not talking about the aim. That will come later. We are not about the aim. We are not giving some synopsis of the study, nothing. We are just naming the study. This is the study that shows about natural settings. It's, it's what it is to the examiner. You're making it clear that this is what I'm going to discuss next. That is the purpose of this sentence. Nothing more than that. Yes. Yes, Kathy. See, there are multiple ways of answering everything. See, either, you can, very formulaic way, you just name. Yeah, you just memorize it and you write. So if you take, Maguire's study demonstrates neuroplasticity in natural settings. Finished. Over. Or, if you want to be a little more, what should I say, a little more communicative or a little more elaborative, whatever it is, Maguire's study on what? What was the topic? Like in the Popov study guide we have, right? In most of the, one or two I did not find it, but most of the studies, what Popov sir has done is he's written that Maguire et al. And some name is given to the study to just summarize what it is about. So I think, what is it called? Taxi driving? Something, I don't remember, but it's given. So, from there, actually we don't need to remember from the study guide, but I'm just saying how well he's written it. So even because we know the study, we can write by ourselves, no? So instead of saying Maguire's study demonstrated, we just write Maguire's study on neuroplasticity in response to taxi driving. Or we can say Maguire's study on changes in the brain due to experience or years of taxi driving. We can put it that way. No hard and fast, not at all. Yes, Aditya. Try to write. It's always good. The year of the study is always good, no, to write. Why you can't remember? Always there will be a lot of subjects to study. But what is so difficult also about remembering the year? Always there's a hue and cry about remembering years of the study. I don't know why. Don't write. You can't remember the year, don't write. No, it's totally optional. See, you remember Maguire 2000, excellent. You don't remember 2000, good. You don't remember Maguire, okay, that is also fine. Yeah, it's fine. But ideally you should write, no? Ideally you should write. So I won't say that don't write. I'll say try your best. On absolute priority basis, remember the name of the researcher and the year also. If at all, during the paper, you can't remember it, then don't write. But before the paper only, I won't try to remember also. That should not be the approach. No. Remember the name of the researcher and the year. Yes, you can ask. first paragraph would have been the same. Because that is general, no? From here it would change. Yeah, it would have been same. Zagansky, then from this sentence you have to change, no? So which relevant area of neuroplasticity is Zagansky showing? It's not showing in natural settings. Those people were not naturally juggling, no? It's only one day I decide to juggle or it's my profession. They were not jugglers by profession. Here they were actually taxi drivers. In that study, they were not jugglers. So that is more in response to deliberate effort rather than natural setting. Like there, the relevant, it is learning only. It is learning only. Yeah, it's learning new skills only, right? But not natural settings. That is wrong. It is learning new skills with deliberate effort, not natural settings. Not as a part and parcel of life, they were not learning juggling. They were made to learn it specifically by the researchers. And it was an experimental study, right? That is what we had seen. This was just an observational study. Right. From this point. Yes. Yeah. So you take Zagansky or you take that cortical remapping study. All those from this point onwards, if you're taking another study, it changes, not before this. Before this is a very generic discussion on neuroplasticity. Okay? Anyone else has any questions? Till here? Okay. So what we were going to write about the study. We are just naming the study basically. We are just saying that this is relevant and this is what we are going to discuss. So what we'll say is the McGuire study. See the spelling of the researchers. McGuire, not McGuire. McGuire, not like that, okay? So the McGuire, 2000 study on neuroplasticity in London taxi drivers illustrates this concept of, this area in neuroplasticity. Yes, Kathy. No, but it's better to write in a separate sentence, no? No, but you're not so short on space or you're not so... Why congest the answer when you have an opportunity to... Again, think from the examiner's point of view reading. If you're mixing up the aim here, wouldn't it be easier to read if you write the aim separately? Don't you think so? And is it not abrupt again to just, we write it. I'm going to take a next separate paragraph starting from the aim of the study. So there I will show, take a new paragraph to and dedicate that paragraph only to the study, right from the aim till the conclusion. So I would not personally recommend beginning here. Like, don't mix up the name and the aim of the study. That is what I'll say. Okay, this is the naming the study. Naming, introducing, highlighting, whatever you want to say. Okay? Anyone has any questions still here? Yes, Aditya. You want to feed into your computer? Good, no? It's a good practice also. See, anyways, you need to learn the answer, right? So many students learn by writing it again and again. So once write it, type it out on the computer instead of writing it manually, and the word program will count automatically for you. No, 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 no. Ultimately, see, in the end, you have to meet roughly 300 to 350 words for a short answer. Of course, you can write shorter than that. There's nothing, it's maximum 300 to 350. Different professors of different opinions. Okay. But there's nothing like this paragraph should be these many words. You'll become mad if you go to try to, do it that way. Isn't it better to answer the questions and write mentally, answer short questions and write, than to think I need to meet this word limit or that? This is better, right? Okay. So, yes, Kathy. See, what happens with the shorter word limit is, that's why I didn't want to talk about word limit, because I knew too many questions will come up. See, I'll just address this one question, then word limit questions in the end, please. Just once you've asked this, I'm answering. Shorter word limit, what happens is, it's not about the word limit being less. Like, we are not interested in the answer should be very long. No, no. But in shorter word limit, why the word limit is shorter? If you see for some students, because they have not covered all the aspects. So if I don't cover something well, like I don't write the importance of the study, or I don't write the results, I don't write the importance of the topic, like we just wrote of neuroplasticity, or I don't write the results of the study properly or something, that's why the word limit reduces. If I am writing all those points which are to be covered, like in the structure, whatever points I'm giving, if I'm covering all those points, it is not possible that I end up with 150, 200 or even 250 word answer. Those are too short to cover all the points. So the moment a student is writing a very short answer, most of the times, 99% times, we find he has missed out something very important. That's why. Like I was saying in the beginning, some students, they start directly with the study. So if I'm describing only the study, then it will get over in 150, 200 words also, or even less than that. But I am not to describe only the study. These students are not writing about neuroplasticity, and the question is about that. So this main part is only not the what are they going to score at the end. So generally there's a positive correlation between your word limit and the content you're covering. It's found more the content you're covering, automatically you need more words, right? Logically, to cover that much content. So if you're writing less words, there's a very, very high chance you're missing out on some very important aspects. So I will come back to this. So there's no hard and fast rule. You have to only do 300 or 350 words. But there's a logic behind why it takes so many words. That's why keep on answering, like I'm saying, keep on structuring this way. Automatically you find goes only to 300, 350 words when you write a good answer. Okay, so shall we, please not word limit question, any other question anyone has? Next paragraph, now we will follow that format, aim, procedure, findings and conclusion of the study. So Maguire's study is going to be covered in the next paragraph the same way, one question at a time.